What's up, guys? We're here blasting shoulders today, and we've got in town Brandan Fokken. He put together a killer shoulder workout. So I know you asked, and I asked people, what do you guys want to see us train? And they're like, well, this guy's the king of delt, so let's blow up some boulders with it. So I know you put together a pretty killer shoulder routine for everybody today. Is that right?
I sure hope so. So today we're going to be doing, what do we got, 6 exercises. I like to train everything at an angle, so we do lots of reps, lots of sets, and hit as many angles as we can.
So it's obviously, guys, now when you look at shoulder training, it's a pretty small muscle group, but it makes such a big difference. I mean, that's what's made Brandan have such a stellar physique is you look at the V taper that comes in from having huge shoulders, right? And like I always tell people, if you can't make the waist smaller, make the shoulders bigger, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. So every chance I get to train with Brandan, I'm always like, shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. Let's go. Let's blow up some boulders, because I want to know how we get shoulders like that, and I know a lot of you guys do too. So he put together a crazy shoulder routine. This guy knows his stuff, right? He's been helping me with my training and my nutrition for a long time, and I'm excited to go through a delt workout with him today and to share this with you guys. So if you guys have questions, please feel free, ask those questions. We'd love to try and answer those for you. So let's start it off, Brandan. I know you got some lateral raises first. I'm going to follow your lead.
All right. So I like to start everything off with a warm-up. I always start with lateral raises. You know, I've had a lot of shoulder injuries in the past, so I want to make sure I get some blood in there before we start hitting any other compound movements. So we'll start a little bit lighter.
He says lighter, and to me, I'm thinking, all right, I don't know if it's going to be too light. But.
And you can go from the front to the side. I'm going to go right from the front, keep my back straight, and just a nice squeeze at the top.
So trying to keep the arms pretty straight here?
Yep.
Yep.
You're going to see a lot of people bending their elbows like this. I like to keep them on as straight as possible. Really put that pressure on the shoulder.
All right, let's do it.
There we go. Nice. Look at all those striations in there. Who says this guy isn't lean?
Let's get him to pop, baby.
There we go.
Big difference from that I noticed from when the arms are straight to when the arms are bent. You make a longer lever here, and obviously you need a lighter weight. So if you're going to bend your arms, you can do a lot more weight, but you're not really benefiting the shoulders anymore. I feel the bent arm laterals a lot more in my traps than I do in my delts, and that's why I really like this exercise. You see a lot of guys that'll bend forward a lot on here too. You know, it's like Brandan's trying to keep his back real straight, which, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I start bending over a lot more, I start feeling a lot more traps, maybe mid-back get involved.
Yep.
This is all delts, baby.
Yep, if you're gonna do the work, you might as well hit the body parts you're trying to train. So form is important, more important than weight. Now the average rest time here is gonna usually be about 30 seconds to a minute. We're going a little bit faster today.
Doesn't take a lot of weight to really feel those delts, guys. It's a small muscle group on everybody except for Brandan. The delts really don't take a ton of weight to try and gain size, to try and get that detail in that you want. There's 3 very small heads here, and it takes some focus and some concentration to get each one of those.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Nice. When we get to the top, you can almost feel that blood pushing into the muscle.
No, not almost. I feel it.
There you go. And remember, whether you're lifting heavy or light, that's the goal. You want to push as much blood as possible into that muscle to tear those fibers. All right, last set.
It's a lot different. You see most guys in the gym that do lateral raises, a lot of swinging, a lot of bending of the arms, using double, triple the weight, strapping up. It really doesn't take a lot of weight in order to hit this exercise properly. Do the delts look like Brandon's yet? Are we almost there? Good.
I think yours are bigger. Mine are just smaller, little cannonballs. We'll rack it after this.
Woo!
There we go.
Feel some blood in there. I feel some blood in my delts.
All right.
Which is a good feeling.
So next we're gonna move to some rope upright rows. Or front raises, I should say, not upright rows.
So the thing you'll notice about the workout that Brandon put together, really trying to target and hit all areas of the delt. Now, a lot of people tend to focus like too much on one area, like maybe their anterior delt, when really getting those shoulders to pop is a combination of all three heads.
Now personally, I like to face away from the machine. I feel I'm getting a much better extension than from the front, and I like that outward angle a lot more. And you can sit down into it if you want a little bit and really push into those front delts. Also, don't forget to keep your core tight.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll do this movement where I switch and face the other way. It's a totally different feel when you pull between your legs. I notice like a different stretch that I get in my delts. And remember, the better the stretch you get with the exercise, the better the contraction is going to be at the top.
There you go. Try to lean back a little bit more and come up a little higher with the weight. There we go. Squeeze right into there. Let's push them together. Training is a game of inches. You're gonna feel a contraction completely different within a 1 inch radius of where he was and where he is. So if you're doing an exercise and you're not feeling it where you want to, move your body around until you're feeling it in the desired muscle group that you're trying to hit. We good?
Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. And one thing I'll notice, like training with Brandon, and he's brought this up to me a lot, it's usually a lot higher reps, and it's a lighter weight. It's not about going crazy heavy. Again, the delt, small muscle group compared to things like lats and quads and glutes. It takes a lot of detail. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in a shoulder movement when you start using too much weight and bringing your ego into it.
Yep. I've had, I degenerated my clavicle. I've torn various things, my capsules in my shoulders, all from ego lifting. So now I train smarter. I'm not even breaking a sweat yet.
It's because I got my sweatband on.
Ah, it's magical.
It actually prevents me from sweating.
Come on now.
Whew. Guys, you feel this lightweight, doing 20 reps there, and I just start feeling a ton of blood come into my delts. I mean, we're gonna have a really crazy delt pump by the end of this workout, utilizing some pretty basic isolation movements.
And although he keeps stressing lightweight, you know, we're gonna continue to take that weight up when we can. So yeah, we're gonna be light. We're gonna be lighter, but we still wanna challenge ourselves.
Now, I say lightweight is, you know, kind of a relative term, obviously, like Brandon. I think everybody, when they start lifting, you know, it's about how much, how heavy, new PR. On something like a front raise, a cable front raise, I'm not looking to break a new PR with my weight. I'm looking to really focus on that contraction.
go. Nice job. I'm not hearing any questions yet. Come on.
Really start to feel the target on the different area of the delts. I start feeling that anterior delt. And that's that mind-muscle connection we're looking for when it comes to training a muscle group like the delts. So this is a great workout for you guys. Tuesday lift, blow some delts up, fill out the shirts a little more. It's also a great Friday workout or maybe Saturday workout. If you guys are heading out to the club, you want to jack up your shoulders a little bit, this will do the trick. It's going to blow them up. All right, is our last set?
Last set, last one.
Last set, best set. Let's go, baby.
Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on.
Burns. A lot of blood flow starting to go into the delts there. That feels good. I like that exercise.
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I've been cheating. I'm doing about 10 less reps than what he's been doing. So.
Dang it. He told me 20. I'm just an overachiever, maybe.
That's what he is.
So next up, Brandon's put together a cable rear delt angled extension.
Yep.
And I like this exercise. Why the angle here?
So, you know, when I have done these in the past, you know, and I'm lower and I'm going straight across, I don't really feel it in my rear delt like I'd like to. So I played around with different angles and I found that a different angle where I'm grabbing it a little bit higher and I'm coming down, I can squeeze right into that rear delt more specific than I can when I cross my body straight across. So it's more a matter of feel, like I was talking about earlier. This is where I feel it the most.
I think with any kind of rear delt movement, the challenge that you have is trying to make sure that your back doesn't get involved in it, that you're not really focusing on those rhomboids, but really feeling it in the delt. And it takes a lot of attention to how you feel on the different movements. So if you guys do a movement that's supposed to be the best rear delt movement and you feel it in your back, try something different.
And as I was talking about, it's a game of inches, you know, from here to here. You know, we're looking at about an inch and a half difference, and I'm feeling it a lot more in that rear delt as opposed to higher. My arms are pretty well locked out, and then when I get to the end, I'm really squeezing into that rear delt. Even when I lock my arms, I still like to have them slightly bent as opposed to all the way locked out. I feel like I got better muscular control when they're just slightly bent in but still locked. How's that feel?
Oh, that feels good.
That's just a little bit different angle. There we go.
You feel a big difference when you just pull down just a little bit there. Gets the traps out of it. If you pull too high, I start feeling more tension in the neck and the traps.
There we go. There we go. Nice job. And again, making sure that from here to here is tight. You want to be as stable as possible when you're trying to hit that movement.
And for me personally, I always feel a lot of the work, especially on rear delts, done during that negative and about controlling that negative. I don't feel a ton in the rear delt when I'm coming on that concentric, but it's when I really control it on the way back that I start feeling a lot of the rear delt get involved.
Would you say as a rule, smaller the muscle group, the shorter the rest period?
Yeah, so the question from Twitch, smaller muscle group, shorter rest periods. For me personally, yes, especially on an isolation movement like this, single joint movement. It just doesn't take as much time, and most of that's because it doesn't require as much energy. Your oxygen consumption is a lot less, therefore you can move a lot quicker. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I believe that. I also think a lot of times, especially when you're looking at like a rear delt or whatnot, and you're trying to target that, a lot of other muscles come into play no matter what. So you're not necessarily super over fatiguing that one singular muscle anyway. So I think shorter rest periods are good.
And your risk of injury is a lot less on something like a rear delt than it is on, say, a squat or a deadlift, where you really need that extra time to try and make sure that you're ready for it and that you lower your risk of injury. I don't hear about too many rear delt injuries in the business.
That'd be terrible. It depends on what kind of shoulder pain you have. I've trained through a lot of that stuff. That's why I always warm up. First, always address if you have an actual injury. If you have consistent pain, have it checked out. If you don't have an injury, sometimes it's a matter of warming up and staying warm. I like BioFreeze, so I'll warm up, I'll put BioFreeze on, keeps it warm, and I'm able to get through my workouts that way. But always make sure, if you can't have constant pain, to check and see if you in fact have a tear or something like that, because you might have one.
I really like on delts too, flexing in between sets. And I know that a lot of people ask about that. Like, well, I feel weird about flexing, in my gym, but after you hit something like a delt exercise and you just flex the shoulders, I feel like it helps with that mind-muscle connection. It helps you get a little better contraction down. That isometric contraction immediately following a set can be super helpful with something like delts. Plus, it's a good time to take a swolfie if you have an opportunity as well.
There we go. This is the last one.
Hey, Brandon, do you come up with the funny posts quotes on Instagram, or do you just find them elsewhere?
I'd say about half and half. I'm asked that all the time, actually. I'm a reader of content. If somebody has an original piece, I'm going to credit them. But otherwise, I try to come up with either my own stuff, or I'll see something and I'll reword it and I'll put it out there. But I'd say about half and half. I'm too busy to come up with all my material.
I've been trying to figure that out for years, guys.
Yeah. There we go.
Whew. Feel that. I feel that. I think we've hit all three heads now, but most people are going to require a little more work than just one exercise per muscle group. So I know next up you've got the shoulder press on the Smith machine,
Yep.
and we're supersetting that with the angled side dumbbell raise or rear flies.
Yep. So in shoulder training, my workouts change a lot. They're always volume. A lot of times, people are like, oh, I did, the 3 heads of my shoulders, I'm done. You're only going to get out what you put in. And, so instead of doing 3 exercises, try for 5, 6, 7, really push your body. Because if you want growth, that's what it takes. So a lot of times people are going to go maybe warm up, not warm up. They go right into a press. I like to pre-fatigue the muscles, and then I'm going to go into a press movement. And then I pull back out, and then I finish off with some other singular cable or dumbbell movements. Over here.
All right, here we go, Smith machine.
So normally I would use a chair here, but we're going to go ahead and do this and stabilize with our core.
25.
We'll start off something lighter.
Do you need dumbbells? Do you want me to get some for you?
Yeah.
What size?
Which ones do you want to do? Do you want to do the side raises or do you want to do rear delts?
Let's do rear delts.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to superset this one. I don't do a lot of supersets, but I thought we'd throw in something different for today. So we're going to do dumbbell rear delts, which we just hit those. Now we're going to hit them at a slightly different angle. We can either do them standing or we can do them seated. Do you want to do them standing or seated?
Let's do them standing.
Okay. So again, we just pre-fatigued them. They're going to be used as part of our working muscle group here, and then we're going to hit them again here. The rear delt is one of the muscles that a lot of people overlook. I would say most of the time you're not going to see people training them. They're side delt, front delt, presses, and although that muscle's worked, it's never taken and trained by itself. So we're going to double hit it today for you guys.
Do you guys want dumbbells over here, or do you want us over at the rack? Over here. Okay, what size do we want for dumbbells?
20s.
20s, okay.
All right, so again, lock out that core. And you can move your hands around wherever you feel comfortable. Wider, closer in. And a lot of people are gonna stop here. I like to go all the way down and then all the way back up. A nice stretch, a nice press. Some people also are gonna go all the way to the top and squeeze. I tend to try not to lock out my elbows. So we hit that. Then we're gonna come right over here. Now you can do it two ways. You can go in or you can go out. Today, we're gonna go out, head up.
Now, you know, rear delts are it's a big injury prevention thing as well. If you only train your anterior delts, a lot of people are dominant in the anterior anyways, so training the rear delts will help balance out your posture, your shoulders, and overall help with that injury prevention.
And again, when you're doing these, if you feel it more with your hands in, hands out, everybody's body's different. So go where you feel it the most. There we go.
If you're a beginner, should you go heavy with less reps, gains, or get the same by doing like more reps for a beginner?
Beginner or no beginner, it depends on what your goals are. You know, I mean, do you want to be a power lifter? Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to lift more? You know, I'm going to tell everybody, if you're just starting off, start lighter, get the movements down, get the form down, and then whether you're a beginner, non-beginner, or whatnot, even though we're doing high reps, lots of sets, you know, sometimes I might do 5 sets of 15 or 20 or 6 sets or whatever. I still encourage you to take that weight up. You know, your body is only going to react to the stimuli that you're consistently putting it through. So if you don't change the variables, your body's not going to change. Would you agree?
I would agree. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, everybody start. I mean, you got to start off with a weight that you can control, where you can get full range of motion with your reps. You have to leave your ego at the door, but you also have to understand that overload is a principle that you know, people need to apply if they want growth and they want development. There it is.
You're also going to notice I always set myself up. You know, you'll see some people just go into a movement, they're off balance, they tip over, they injure themselves. I always start with my feet, no matter what exercise I'm doing, then I work up into whatever movement it is.
Even though you're working delts here, and you know, you have to establish that foundation, that core. There's a lot of other things that are working here. You have core working, you have lower back working. Heck, you've even got glutes, hamstrings involved with this movement. So you have to start with that. And you can't forget about your main muscle groups.
Come on now. Come on. There we go.
Woo! Here we go.
There we go.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Delts are getting pumped. And there we go. Boulders, baby. You guys want to see it? Here it is. How the man builds his boulders.
It's funny, as far as shoulder training goes, for about a year, I took off really a lot of shoulder training at all because they started to overdevelop and started to make my arms look small. You know, when I first started getting into training, my shoulders were one of my weakest points. And I got them to a point where they started to stand out. Then they started to stand out too much. So I'm back at actually training them hard and consistently again. So, all right, we're done too.
Okay, this will be my last set. Yeah.
Last set.
Mike, what if you don't have a Smith machine in your gym?
Guys, if you don't have a Smith machine, it's fine. You can use a barbell. You can use a barbell. You can use dumbbells to apply the same principle. The Smith machine is kind of nice for this because it allows you to isolate that a little more and not have to worry as much about balancing your body at the same time. But you can absolutely do this with barbell or dumbbells as well. It's just nice when you have the variety to throw something different in.
All right, last one. Come on. Always unrack your weights. Always. Come on. Finish strong.
Whew. Feels good, guys. It feels really good. It's a good superset. A couple different heads of the delts there. All right, so next up, I think it's sort of moving on to our last exercise here.
Chair press.
Yes.
So when I was writing this workout today, you know, I threw in some stuff that I don't normally do. A chair press is one. You know, there's a couple different variations. You can stand, you can sit, you can press out, straight up. For today, what we're going to do alternating fast-paced presses. We're just going to call those a chair press. This is going to be a burnout. We're not really counting reps. We're just going until our shoulders burn out. So again, lighter weight.
Cheer press, guys. This is where you really got to leave your ego at the door. You know, be okay with a cheer press. Whatever builds the boulders, I don't care what you call it. Go, Brandon, go. Build those boulders. You actually have to cheer while you do. Sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Seriously though, guys, it's about the gains, all right? No funny business. Just imagine you have pom-poms in each hand.
Or donuts.
Or donuts.
One thing when I'm doing these, I start going further and further away from my body.
So he's pressing kind of up and out, you'll notice. Keep that tension on the delts.
You know, 99% of the time I train by myself. I can tell you you know, that works for me, but getting in here with somebody like Mike or with somebody else, it's really gonna push you. It speeds the workout up, and it's gonna make you even better. So if you don't have a workout partner, periodically find one. You're gonna greatly benefit from it. Come on.
Whew. It's a constant tension on the delts there that you have because you're pressing out. And I think your tendency here is to let those arms come in to try and recruit more tricep. Yep. And you really have to focus on keeping them out, which is gonna keep that constant tension on the delts.
It's the same thing as when you're doing that side raise. With those weights locked out and further out, all that tension's going here. Same thing here. If you're protecting them, it's going into the tricep. If you're pulling them out, it's going more into the shoulders. Are you still not sweating yet?
It's the headband. It actually prevents you from starting to sweat.
Are you gonna sell your own line of those? I could use one.
It's Garrett. Another shout out to Garrett if you're watching. Thanks for the headband, my friend. No, I'm not a big sweater. I don't sweat a ton when I lift. And it's another thing. A lot of people try and gauge how good of a workout they're getting by whether or not they're sweating. Some people sweat when they get out of the shower in the morning, and other people just don't sweat a ton. So I'm just not a big sweater.
Well, I actually never sweat, but the last 3 days, lucky me, I've been dealing with some stomach issues. So I think that's coming out. I have a 9.5-month-old son at home, and he runs his hands through everything, and he always puts his hands on my mouth, so I'm sure I caught something up from him. Mike knows that drill too, though.
Oh, yeah. That's how you build a strong immune system.
Switch, Mike's looking like a cheerleader.
Woo! Go, trainer Mike. Whoa. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. You got to look like a cheerleader. It's a cheer press. Come on. All right. This is a good burnout. I've never used this before as a way to finish off delts, but I'm feeling a good volume, a good blood flow going to my delts right now.
Last one.
Should we do Arnold press after overhead barbell or dumbbell press?
So Arnold press after overhead. Yeah, you definitely would want to incorporate Arnold press towards the end of your workout. Save your energy for more of your compound things like your barbell overhead press or your dumbbell overhead press.
Come on, let's go faster, faster. Get him going. Go, 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 go. Come on. All right, stop. Now press them straight up together. Up and down. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Finish strong, finish strong. This is it. So that's the thing we just saw right there. You can be in the middle of one thing.
Hot dog.
If you know something's going to be different stimuli and challenge you, throw it in there. A workout doesn't have to be exactly how it was written or whatnot. Sometimes you just go by how your body's feeling, how you're reacting to what you're doing, and push it harder.
Always a pleasure, my friend. That's a good delt workout, guys. Check it out. You got the full workout listed there. Brandan Fokken, delt routine, what everybody wants to see, what everybody wants to know. So we appreciate you guys checking it out, and appreciate you taking me through the workout today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure working out here at Bodybuilding.com, and it's always a pleasure getting one in with this guy here. So,
boom. See you guys later.